welcome to my journey, my garden journey. I figure when I'm doing my canning and freezing and whatever, we'll put it all on a garden journey playlist. Now, here's the thing with the garden. I've been doing some research about why our peas and beans are not coming up. We planted bush green beans, pole beans. We planted baby lima beans. We planted some other kind of bean. Crowder peas, and something else. There was one other thing. None of it's coming up. None of it. So this is the third time we have tried to plant beans and they're not coming up. Now we have a section of October beans about yay big that came up. The rest of the row did not, except for one little long plant. And then the Christmas pole limas, the 25-foot section of that came up, but the front 25 section did not. So those are the beans that came up, and that's the only beans I'm going to get this year, and I am so bummed. That was the one thing I was looking forward to, was canning green beans, because I love fresh home canned green beans and all kind of beans in my freezer, because y'all know we love our beans, and I am so bummed about that. But I'm making do with what I got, and I researched it, and I'm thinking we're going to plant different next year. I think we're going to put all our beans on hills. I think he wants to haul maybe some compost and stuff in there to give it a softer feel, because I read that if the ground on top gets too crusty, the bean can't pop through. And I'm thinking that's what's happened. We're watering it. Could be watering it too much. So I told Holly, don't water them last night, which I don't think they're going to come up. I just don't. But I'm thinking maybe it's drying out with this heat we're having, trying to get through that dry, crusty top that it's making. So next year we're going to plant on the hill. We're going to have it nice, fluffy. So we'll just have to hand plant every bean we put in the ground next year. I ain't using that cedar. No. We're going to hand and push them down just like we did them squash and them pumpkins. And boy, they are... Oh, they're taking off like wildfire. Them pumpkins are going to be spread out all across the half end of that garden. And blooms, oh my gosh, we got blooms. I'm going to have pumpkin in the freezer. I told David, we ain't going to have beans. I said, you're going to have pumpkin with every meal. He started saying, pumpkin this and pumpkin that. I'm like, yes, pumpkin. That's what you're going to have. And if we get any tomatoes, we are staking them up today. We started yesterday, and we're going to finish today. The Florida weave is just not holding. It is just not holding. So we're staking them up. They look so much better. We're hoping that they take off better. There are tomatoes on them, but not tons, you know. So we're hoping getting them staked up and up into the air helps those. And of course, you know, we're getting lots of cucumbers, which is why we're here today. So we are going to the garden today, but we're also picking up our freezers today. So we got one and we got Holly one. And they don't open until 11:30. Well, David, I told him this morning we were eating our Hardee's. I said, what's the plan, Stan? He said, well, to make best use of his time, he thought he would mow our yard because it's getting up. And then we could go get the freezers, go down, bring ours home, take theirs to them, and then just stay down there and work in the garden. And that way we don't have to make 2 trips. I'm like, sounds good. I said, well, I've been puttering around here doing things that need to be done this morning. I said, but I just got cucumbers yesterday. I said, I really need to make best use of my time and do some cucumbers, because what I want to make are some dill cucumbers for frying. So not the thin ones we got like for sandwiches and burgers and things that David likes. These are regular. My thing says 7 millimeter. At inch-wise, don't know what that means. The size Holly used for her spicy pickles. Just dill pickles, just to use to make fried pickles. Y'all know how good fried pickles are, and dip them in ranch. Oh, yes. The recipe I found pretty close to the one that I use for my little thin chips, which is fine by me because we like those, so I'm sure we'll like this one. And let me just tell you, I don't can by the big rules. I mean, I follow the rules, but I'm more of a home, the way I was raised, canner. Like I said in my other video, be glad I'm water bathing them, because I grew up, and I know many of you did too. And if you go read an old cookbook, you'll find out. Put hot in hot jars and seal. That was the end of the story. We didn't get sick. I grew up eating that kind of food. I canned that kind of food because that's how I was taught to can. So at least I am water bathing these pickles. And everything so far is sealed up beautifully. Oh my gosh, don't tell me that's already warm. I ain't even got my cucumbers cut. Some of them are bigger than I like, but that's how they're getting picked. Poor Holly, she's missing them. I said, you got to pull that plant up and look up under there. I think she's afraid she's going to hurt one of the stems or something. But we're getting tons of cucumbers. She got a ton and I got a ton. So I'm going to make some pickles out of what I got. I hate for to see it waste. We also want to do a batch of bread and butter pickles. So I think maybe that'll be our next one. But I thought, well, while I'm making them, follow my recipe. Don't follow my recipe. Don't come back on me if you do and you don't like it, or it don't seal, or it gives you botulism. Which it ain't going to. I'm just saying. Don't use my method and come back on me. This is at your own doing. So anyway, let me shut up the mouth and turn around and start making some pickles. Okay, just like the other ones, actually all of them, our first order of business is to peel our garlic cloves. Now it says it makes 7 jars, and that's all I can fit in my canner. I didn't have quite 6 pounds of cucumbers, so, oops, wrong bowl. I'll make what I can. I'm just going to do 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, if I have a separate second jar, I probably won't can it. I'll just make it and put it in the refrigerator. So that is all of that. And like I said, I don't have one of them roly things Holly was asking about. So I just do it the old-fashioned way. Next thing we need to do, see, I got some big cucumbers, but that's okay. It'll just be bigger for frying. Oh, I got to get my knife. Hold on. Let me bring this bowl back up here. I always cut the ends off because there's supposedly some enzyme that keeps them from getting crisp. Let's see, that is how thick they are. I'm just going to toss them back in that bowl instead of messing up another bowl. So let me get all my cucumbers diced. Got all the cucumbers sliced. They're ready. What we're doing now is making our pickling brine. In here I have 3 cups of white vinegar. And I'm going to add 3 cups of water. And then to that I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of pickling salt. And I use the ball salt for preserving and canning. That's what it's called. But there are other brands. You don't have to use ball. I got this on Amazon and it seemed to be a good price. So I'll probably look around after this. And then we just want to bring that up to the ball. You can see it's come up to the ball. So I've turned the heat down. I'll just let it go to a simmer. Now let me go over there and get my jars. Okay, I tell you every time that I can that I do it across the room because I don't have room for that big pressure canner over here with everything else, with no more room than I have on this little stretcher counter. So this recipe says put your garlic in your, which I could have put the garlic on the bottom, that's no big deal. But they say put your garlic and dill seed. It gets 1 clove of garlic and a teaspoon of dill seed. Some say put it on the bottom, some say put it on the top. I say put it in the middle, just because that's the way I like to do it. So you can do yours any way you like. I don't know why. In my mind, it distributes better. Am I right? Am I wrong? Who knows? But it's never hurt my pickles before, so I don't expect it to start hurting them now. Now, I did already make some 2 jars because I forgot to pull my camera over here. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough brine to cover 7 jars, just to be honest with you. It don't feel like I'm going to. Which, if I don't, I'll just make more. But I don't feel like I am. It's supposed to be a 1/2 inch headspace, and I know that it is right up at the bottom of my funnel. And then you take your bubbles out. You get bubbles in these kind because they're packed in here with air in between them. So this just lets the air out, if there is any, that doesn't get filled up with brine. And I'm going to push that back down in there. That's up a little bit too far for my liking, but maybe as it sets up, it'll shrink up a little bit and settle down. Both of those are up higher than I want. You know, I'm taking that one out. We'll put it in the next jar. Wipe your rims. What am I looking for? And you know what? I don't know if people still heats their lids or not, but I do. Because that's the way I was taught. And so that's the way I do it. Just what they say just finger tighten it, fingertip tighten it, whatever. So let me go ahead and finish all these up. I absolutely did not have enough. I got 2, 4, 5 jars, and the 6th jar is so close to the top it's not funny. So I'm making another whole batch. Now I won't use this whole batch. I don't think. I don't know. I don't have enough cucumbers. But what I don't use, I put in the refrigerator and use the next time. So if I make more of these, I will just add that to the brine. I know, I don't know if that's approved or not, but that's how I've always done it. So that's what I'm telling you. You don't follow what I do. You go by whatever you want to do. I just go by half what you're supposed to do and half how I was taught. I guess I'm a half and half canner. So I'm going to let this come back up to the bowl. Okay, here's my pickles. I think I could have got them a little fuller, but that's okay. They're going to be good, whether they're completely full or not. So I guess I just should have packed them down a little bit better, but maybe they'll fall as they start soaking in their vinegar and stuff. Anyway, they'll be good. So that is it for this video. There are my pickles for frying. When I mark on the top, I'm just going to call them frying pickles, and I'll know exactly what they are. So I hope you enjoyed this pickle video, and there will be another one because me and Holly still want to do some bread and butter pickles. So stay tuned for whatever's coming next.